Hello everyone, it's Adamant MTG here to play Magic the Gathering Arena, and today we have the final in my series of monocolor decks. This is the mono red, I guess aggro, and it's pretty much the list that you would expect to see. A couple of interesting points though I wanted to make about best of one and best of three is you have to sort of get ahead of the metagame, and the metagame is the typical decks you will see in these formats. And best of one tends to be a little more aggro-centric because you don't have to worry about sideboarding. Your plan is go to the face. And so those kind of aggro plans tend not to, you don't have to go into the sideboard to adjust anything. You only have to adapt. But if you're only playing best of one, then you're already kind of doing the right thing. That's the general consensus for best of one. However, the next level of best of one is to play a deck that beats aggro decks and is kind of geared towards that. So your aggro decks have to really be committed and really hit hard to avoid, the main deck sweepers and things that other people bring to the table. So your mid-range decks can tend to do pretty well if they're kind of pre-boarded or ready to go against a deck like this. And unfortunately with mono red, everyone's expecting it, and everyone is usually prepared for it, especially in best of one. So you've got a little bit more of an uphill battle. If you go over to best of three, then you're at least dealing with people that are maybe not, maybe they have to get into their sideboard to really bring tools to use against you. So you can get that quick game one out of the way, and then hope that out of the two games that they're sideboarding potentially, that you can still beat them with a really lucky draw and maybe a couple of things out of your sideboard to shore up the, like the prevention of life gain. That might help a little bit. Getting a blocker out of the way, something like that. Taking out a Clover or another red deck with a red cap melee. So there's a couple of, tools you have to use to get blockers out of the way, and you go to the sideboard for that. So in this particular case, because we're at the bottom of the diamond ladder, we can kind of experiment. I'll play maybe one or two in best of one, and I'll play a couple in best of three to give you sort of the idea of what to expect. Of course, limited number of games, you can only get so much data or information. But let's talk about the deck itself. You see all the standard things. I am playing with two shocks to get the, because there's enough early aggro, get some stuff off the board. Maybe the early Scavenging Ooze or something you want to deal with, maybe a Jolriel. And then, of course, some other interaction with the Stomps, but that's very little. And then I've got one main deck, Subira. I think that there's some really good card draw, and also unblockable is pretty good. Another haste creature can't be so bad. So that's kind of a little experiment that I'm trying main deck. Otherwise, you've got your standard assortment. Torbrand is pretty amazing. I used to go 3 and 3, but I think we're doing 4 and 2. I think is a better configuration, and that's that. Pretty straightforward. Nothing really to else to look at. 22 lands, probably enough. Could be 21, maybe. But I think with the 3 drops, we want 22. All right, let's get into it. We'll play 2 games at best of one, and then we'll go with, depending how fast the matches are. I don't want to make these videos too long. Keep in mind that if you have any suggestions or things that you've tried that you like, feel free to comment below. The idea is to create a discussion point in these decks. There's always a better build, and there's always things to try and experiment with. Maybe Scorching Dragonfire is a better choice because it hits, but I do like the damage over the top. with shocks, but all those things are good points. I hope that in Magic, no matter what kind of player you are, obviously this is mono red. Some people dislike this deck, some people enjoy it. The idea is that Magic is very different and it gives a wide variety of deck choices and card choices. So I think that makes the game what it is. The fact that you can play in so many different ways. So be open-minded. Maybe try a deck. Maybe a deck you don't like or it's not typical of your playstyle. Hey, we get a mirror match. Pretty neat. So shock comes in handy, and we'll take that thing out. Even though they probably have robbers, and that's an issue, more of an issue than a champion. I do not regret my choice. Because the first striker is going to potentially give us problems, but we'll know really quickly if they drop a robber of the rich if we are regretting our decision. Steamkin. And we have light up the stage, so before we drop our land, we could probably do that. And I think I'm going to. They won't block if we drop this. So whenever you have a light up, now you can also wait on light up the stage. Sometimes playing it too early is a bad thing, but I'm going to do it now. If I do hit a Torbrand, then I whiff because I can't get. I guess we could potentially, but that's the only card I don't want to see. So we'll light up the stage first. We know if we get a mountain or a land, we drop that. Okay, that's perfect. And then we can also do this, and we can stop the Steamkin, but I think I'm going to wait on that, actually. We can use our mana right now, you know what I mean? Or we could just put this out and really get aggressive. I think aggression is the where we want to be. When we make a red player block, we're doing the right thing. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. Okay, so we're going to do this, this, stomp the Steamkin. Apply more pressure. And there's the robber. We knew they would be out soon. We'll hold this in our hand to make them wonder, right? Click on blocks, so we wait for the blocks first. Not that it really matters. And yeah, I could have dropped the land to make this unblockable, but I really am not concerned. Strange that they didn't kill it, but that's okay. Their blocks were not aggressive enough, but that's good. No red player should be a good blocker, so they played it perfectly. If you miss blocks or miss block while you're a red player, you have every excuse in the world because you're just not used to it. Like, what am I doing? Blocking? Why would I block? Red players don't block. They always say math is for blockers, but math is also... Blockers are not red players. Math and red don't work well together. It's not a not part of the color identity of red to block. Really excited about these lands. I only have to get the blue one now, and unfortunately it's been evading me in Jumpstart. I really want to get the final. I have all the colors except blue. You shouldn't talk about blue cards, though, while we're playing a red deck. I've got to get in the mindset of a red player, which is a lot of anger and a lot of aggression. Blue-white flyers, maybe? I like it. So, I think it's too early to light up the stage. I want to keep my shocks for the lieutenants or whatever they're called. Yeah, we're going to go with everything. I don't care if they block. Ooh, Rally of Wings, a beautiful card to pull out of their arsenal, because that can get really scary. This is one of my favorite decks that we're playing against. Again, I shouldn't be complimenting. The opponent is blue, and all I should have is froth and anger towards them. So, just not my nature. All right, time to light it up now. Skycat. Cool thing about this spell in the light up the stage zone is after we use it, now it stays there in the adventure zone, and we get a scoop. Mono red doing the work. All right, let's move over to best of 3 and see how we fare. We get to test my sideboarding prowess, which is questionable at best. There are a lot of streamers. Sandy Dog is one of them, who I consider the sort of the source of red deck if you want to look at high-level plays. But the most important thing to do when you're testing or playing a new deck, maybe something you're not used to, is be very open-minded. Understand that there are lines of play that things that you do 3 and 4 turns earlier, and I definitely recognize that not being super experienced with a deck like this for me, and then that's what I count on, either Twitch chat while I'm streaming or the comments below to, there's always someone out there who's just a little bit better or sees something that you're not seeing. And if you see something in my videos that you're like, oh, maybe I didn't catch, I really appreciate people that are like, hey, on turn 4 of this game, you played this sequence, and if you would have played a different sequence, you would have gotten 2 more damage. It seems, things like that are really important to learn from. So if you are so inclined and have the time and would like to leave constructive criticism about play patterns, I've been playing the game since 1993, and that means I have a lot to learn. So please tell me. I really do appreciate it. We're going to wait for B. Connors to finish worshipping at the altar of Satan, I imagine. Or maybe it's just a series of numbers that he enjoys. I don't know. Hard to say the reason for adding 666s at the end of your name. Time management is not on B. Connor's high-level skill sets. But maybe they need to use the restroom, or maybe they're doing something before the game. Brushing their teeth. Putting the kids to sleep. There's so many things that... I love the fact that with Arena, you do have you can get on with your normal life. You know, you can do things like change your oil in your car while your opponent waits for you. As long as you don't rope out, and if you do, then I get an easy win. But see, they came back in time. They were here. And let's go. Looks like a decent start. They have to finish washing the dishes, wiping down the counters. Let's just imagine all the things that they could be doing while I'm waiting. They are in a YouTube video. That's something they have to think about. Their legacy will be forever on YouTube. A devil-worshipping slowpoke. I don't mean to assume anything. I'm just calling it as I see it. All right, so Cheville or Cheval, or I don't know how you pronounce his name. I like him though. He's cool. First strike always gets me. Okay, Steamkin time. Very interested in what this deck is going to do to us. It's a good start. Card draw. I'm liking it so far. And by liking it, I mean, again, I'm complimenting my opponent's deck, which I need to be better at not doing. We missed a land drop. That's going to hurt quite a bit. They have a lot of advantage on us with life gain and probably a lot of removal. Eek. We got in there, though. I cannot afford to miss land drops, though. This is a game that's going to be an uphill battle in game one. Double Oath. Wow. And they get more to card draw. Look at that. What an exciting engine. And pretty strong against mono red, if you think about it. Oh, a 1-3 for 2, and then life gain. Missed another land drop, so we attack again. 28. Wow. Seems pretty good. B. Connors is heartless. And it's no act. Just a land. Oh boy. Is it time for us to tilt yet? Or we're not tilting, right? We're good. We're fine. How bad can it be? They're at 25. We're chipping away. We're getting it done. 25 turn clock, everybody. I hope B. Connors has the time. All right. I think I'm done with this game. Let's go to round 2. We can't win the game without land, and unfortunately I was behind by 4 turns, so. Trusty sideboard. Life gain seems like a good thing. What else do they got? They've got green and white and black stuff, lots of creature removal. What else are they going to do to us? I assume it's going to be Doom Foretold City. So, I don't know if those are good enough. We do have to get rid of creatures too. I don't think they play artifacts. Alright, shock seemed useless. Sabira might be okay. Lots of removal, so I don't know how hard the Embercleaves. We're going to take an Embercleave out. Maybe 2. I know that's a huge win con, but in a deck that runs so much removal, I feel like they're just going to kill anything the Embercleave goes on. So, Robber, I don't think that gets through either. All right, what are we down to? 29 creatures. That's still enough creatures to win. How much did the Bone Crushers win for me here? All right, we'll split them. Going first, but not the most aggressive start. But we'll see. At least this can't get hit by their oaths, you know. But they have lots of just other removal that'll take care of it. Get rid of that guy, because he is scary. Now, if I use this now, I get cards, but I don't get the land advantage. So actually, I'm going to, let me think. I'm actually going to pass. I can still hard cast it if I had to, if they find removal for this guy. So we'll see. Unchained Barista is what I call him. He's just too well kempt. Look at his nice clean beard. He doesn't really look like he's been in prison very long. It's all an act. I do like the fact that he's melting through the chains, though. It's pretty cool. But he wasn't there for very long. He's just like, I'm out of here. When they're not looking, I'm out of here, and I'm going to go make some delicious drinks for my clientele. Or not. Looks like he was dealt with by this wild creature. There he is, up in the corner, the barista. Alright, so do I just draw cards then? Set up next turn? I think I do. Yeah. The Scoozies. Pumping it up. We have to use it or lose it. So I will use it on the face. I did what I said I wouldn't do, which is drop the land, but that's okay. We're late enough in the game. I'm not too concerned. Yeah, that's fine. We'll deal with it. Okay, so now we have to get some action on the board. We do have Embercleave available. We will attack and we will pump. Since we're the main player, we have priority, so we can always attack and use the ability before they can respond to it. But pay attention to that stack and the priority of action and how it works when it's your turn and when your opponent gets an opportunity to act is always in response to something you do or in response to a phase change. So make sure when you're doing something and you want to hold priority that you don't go into the next phase. If you do, your opponent has an opportunity to say, before the end of your first main phase, before combat begins, I will respond with blah. That's important to know. Ooh. Okay, well now we're at the point in the game where we've done 8 damage and we are looking at 8 mana on the board. And we're really far behind. So the interesting thing about this is I can make a devil, but I can't use it to do anything. But I can block. I can just kill it. I don't know. We're going to try to get a token in Embercleave. Put an Embercleave on it. That's hilarious. I guess they could use the Vraska. That's smart. Oh no, I was going to say use it to kill my token and then get it back with the ECD next turn. A free Planeswalker. Odd that they would not. But they wanted a card. They wanted extra. Okay, well I guess they're doing the same thing anyways. All the Vraskas. You can never have too many. Or maybe you can. Yeah, you can have too many. Well played. Poor Planeswalker. Not even attacking, just hanging out. Alright. Well, now this is interesting, right? A defensive... So, defensive Embercleave is pretty funny to me. We have 8 mana. We could just pop it off as a blocker. I think that makes me laugh. So let's not attack. When you think your Embercleave is a sword, but really it behaves as a shield, flashing in a sword, to me, is the highest level Embercleave play you can make. Never mind. They're just going to ruin our fun and kill our stuff. 4, 5, 6. If I do this, though, it goes into play. Ready for next turn. There's no reason to surprise them with it, right? What? The free equip over here. We will go after Vraska. And we will pump. We don't need to pump if they didn't block. So I'll keep my mana open for no apparent reason. Alright. Are we getting into a good position now? Good board state? We've dealt with their ECD, double Planeswalkers. And here we are. Scavenging Ooze is the only thing in our way. And a Cry will hurt a little bit. Unless they have a second one. It is dealt with one creature. An interesting Cry, if you ask me. We can pump one time only anyway, so there's no point in me dropping the mountain just yet. We'll see what they do. How many more bodies do they have? One more to get? They're not going to bother. Alright, I'm going to hold this in my hand. Could have gotten damage out of it by pumping. Maybe I should have. I suppose if they find an answer, I'll feel bad. Because them being at 4 is much better than them being at 6. They're going for the Embercleave. Because they don't want the little bodies. That's a good play. Really good play. I just need to draw a red card. Officially not red. Not red enough. How many times can I pump this? See, that would have been lethal, right? See? See how my misplay cost me lethality right there. Because they would have been at 4, and that would have been 0. So, punt if they can recover and win this game, you know? So then a regrettable punt. Look at that. And here they come. They're coming back. When I could have had the lethal on the board. That's a mental note. They can't pump it anymore, and I can pump twice. They have to block, so this at least removes their ooze, which feels good. Although we can't put pressure down, we at least put them in a desperate spot, right? And I'm at 20 life, and against red deck, he's got to be sweating bullets. Your prayers have not been answered, my friend. Then again, it's only game 2. Okay. Game 3. The forces of good versus the forces of evil. Some people would say to play the robbers because they have the potential to get like the good cards into the exile zone. I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest with you. I don't know how I feel about it. But I appreciate you telling me what you think about it. If I take the steamkin away, does that help me? Does the steamkin like get me extra power and speed against them? All right, I'll put one robber in. You know, when I put one card in, it's going to be the top of the deck. 6 land and 1 robber. And I'll keep it. See? Told you. So easy. When you want to see a card, just put 1 copy. And then it'll rise to the top because it feels lonely and wants to make sure you notice it in your deck. Here, buddy. We attack first because we know that they won't block. If they do decide to block, then we have First Striker ability. Because First Strike in an instant kills the creature. Death Touch does not apply. Didn't this happen in the first game? I stopped drawing lands, or is that something else? Alright, well, at least we get to light it up here. That's going to be our saving grace. Sorcery speed. Yes, I get it. We did it, everyone. We did it. We drew the land. And now with 4 land, we didn't want to stop drawing it. No more land. Unless it's a castle. Okay, take that back. We want land, but we just want specific lands. Uh-oh. Doom foretold. Get to draw cards. Wow, that's really good. I do really enjoy their deck, actually. Oh, that was a good draw. That was fairly. Ooh, what? What? I know there's a fry in there somewhere. We're gonna need to find it. Not yet, but I know it's in there. Hmm. I'm in a huge amount of trouble. Fries for the win. We have 2 of them in the deck. What are the chances? Exactly 2 and 46. Because I know math. Oh boy. Close. You were in the sideboard together. You know what the other card looks like. Do they have a Heartless Act? Let's find out. Ooh, they're cycling. That makes me feel good. Makes me feel like they're trying to find better cards. The Baneslayer isn't good enough. Here we go. Oh, so close. I could really push the pace and get cards. This forces them to attack Tibalt. So I feel like that's a reasonable play. Probably should have attacked first, though. It doesn't matter. Sideboard, sideboard, sideboard. So if our cards stick together, the next card for sure is a fry. Ouch. That was unfortunate. So now they can go face, but still not lethal. I can handle 1 more of these, because that's how math works. Not quite, but pretty fun. I will let them swing out because it's really fun to win with a Baneslayer Angel. Let them have the joy of murdering me with a Celestial Sword. Cool. Well, that was a good match. That was a fun match, actually. I enjoyed their deck a lot more than I probably should have. It looks really interesting. Sort of a Doom shell with Cheville and who else knows what. I don't know. I just really liked it. Golgari, Queen, they can activate this. Definitely a fun deck. I would like to see an actual list. But congratulations. We had fun. And that's it for the video. I just wanted to show you sort of the way that hopefully you can enjoy the monocolor deck series. I'll do, this is the last one actually. So next I'll be jumping into the sort of standard decks of the moment. probably play some other stuff, and let me know what you think. Let me know what you would like to see more of or less of, or whatever your ideas are for the channel. I do read the comments as my YouTube channel is growing, so I would like to give the people what they want and try to play different. There's always a way to find a niche in the content you're creating, because the Magic is so diverse, has so much to offer. So I'll be just kind of throwing other ideas out there, and appreciate your time. Be safe, be good to each other, and until next time.